I'm Brian the Commish. This is the BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, where we look at all things fantasy football through the lens of our league, BARFF. I'm joined down here in the dungeon. You can finally hear his golden voice. The owner of Born to Run, Walt, is here. How are you?
I'm doing great, and hey, you know what? These things happen. So
yeah, that's embarrassing. We'll cut that out in,
yes,
when we do the videos.
Yes.
In post. So we were talking about first game of Week 5. Talking about no lineup needed, big victory, 132-93 over Soarin Eagles. No lineup moves to 2-3. Soarin Eagles falls to 2-3. Well, keys to victory. What happened in this game?
Yeah, so excellent. I'm glad.
Yes.
So I want to give you the opportunity to thank me for cutting Dak Prescott and allowing him to have a couple of really nice weeks for you in a row. So. That's what I was, if you look at the top of Christian's lineup all the way through, other than, Juwan Johnson, I think got dinged up, so he didn't do much, but he had a great week. McCaffrey's McCaffrey. Right. The guy, that's the guy you wanted when you drafted him, where he was drafted. So, and, so solid week, but then on the flip side, Jordan really not a bad week, but, looking at Ertz, then Walker, the Giants D, and even the kicker, the bottom half didn't really do anything. So
totally
to me,
betrayed.
That's
betrayed by Zach Ertz.
I know that's got to hurt for Soarin Eagles. They're big Zach Ertz guys.
Absolutely. I mean, he was having a resurgent season, and then he posts a 0 in a game that he played. That's ugliness. Christian, what do you think happened in Washington where Zach Ertz posts a 0? Did you watch any of that or keep track of any of that?
Well, obviously, what's his name? Jacorsky Merritt had a stellar game. Also, it seems like Debo is just so. I think he just kind of got left out in the cold, which is surprising considering Scary Terry is not playing.
So. Yep. I don't understand it. Maybe we can get some more insight by another owner, another interested party joining us on the line. Owner of Soarin Eagles, Jordan's on the line. Jordan, can you hear us?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah,
and if you're looking for insight, you came to the wrong place.
Well, I'm glad that we're loud and clear because that's the first loud and clear that we've really had all night after our debacle of a start. And Zach Ertz, Jordan, and any word out of Washington, or was this just hey, we forgot to throw the guy the ball?
Yeah, word out of Washington is Zach Ertz will not see another starting lineup in BARFF this year.
Wow.
I don't know, what are they doing? I can't stand that. You can't keep rolling with a tight end who puts zeros up. So he's out. Whoever wants him, gonna have him. He's dead to me.
I did see that he ended up on the chopping block, so he is out there.
Oh, he was cut already, huh?
Right? Did I see that right? Did you cut him this morning or yesterday?
Oh yeah, he was cut before waivers cleared.
Oh yeah.
This is the week of the mid tight end being picked up off waivers. I've never seen so many guys. I'm like, wow, who got picked up? But
you don't like Mason Taylor?
Okay, I do actually like that. I do like that pick. I was looking for him, but I've never expected to be like, yo, I can't wait to play the Jets tight end this week. That's going to be awesome.
I mean, you got a Giants and Jets tight end, both starting lineup. That says a lot for where we are when it comes to tight ends.
There's a lot going on, and Christian in tight end land, Juwan Johnson, who started the season red hot, is also cratered this position. This is the most jinxed position in fantasy football.
It's ridiculous.
Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah. No, I'm concerned. I did drop him this week. Again, I'm in the same boat as Soarin Eagles here. I'm a little afraid of that offense. I have Olave, which I like because they're throwing the ball a lot, but then they have 3 tight ends that are all usable, including Johnson. So at least this week, it's not worth going with them. Plus, I don't want to be too leveraged to that horrible New Orleans offense.
Yeah.
100%. Jordan, outside of cutting Zach Ertz and picking up Mason Taylor, any other moves? As you're 2-3, you're still very much alive. How do you feel about your lineup overall right now?
I don't love my receiver situation. I would like a few of them to just start being consistent. But like besides DJ Moore, I wouldn't say that anybody has really just completely power outage on me this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nobody's stringing it together at the same time, and like one or two of them are busting on me every week.
Right.
Yeah, that's tough when you're playing that guessing game on trying to figure what's the right combination that you put in your starting lineup. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I have the most 11-point projected wide receivers in the league on my bench right now. I don't know what to do with them.
Hey, don't change a thing, my friend. I don't want to give advice, but I'm very happy where you're at.
Yeah, we'll get to standings after week 5, but there is a lot of interesting things going on with standings wise. Well, where are we going next?
Let's see. Let's go to another. I wish he was on the phone, but let's talk about your nice win against the Pantloads. Wasn't even really that close.
Sody Pantloads and the Knuckleheads go at it. Was projected to be a razor sharp squeaker, but it was not. Walt, tell me the story about this game.
That story is, I don't know how you start Willie Marks and. I don't know. He was a believer. He picked him up.
That's $150 player.
Exactly.
Which, by my math, that's roughly like $63 a point.
Yeah, let's look at what he paid for that 2.4 points.
He paid $150, didn't he?
Yeah, he paid the whole thing.
Yeah,
so it's 2.4 divided by 150. Wow, what do we got? Wow. That's what he got his return on his investment, 0.016. So
it was not a pretty day.
Yeah, no, that was not good. And same story. The bottom half of that lineup, Trey McBride again, 9.1. Mm-hmm. That was unfortunate, but of course, when you saw what the Cardinals did to give that game away, that's not that surprising.
Yeah, that's the second time. It's just ugliness. What's going on with some of these players?
Yep.
Just hold on to the ball, man.
Exactly. And then great 2 touchdowns out of him.
Yeah.
With Bucky Irvin out. So you had a real solid week up and down your lineup too. Other than the only downside was you lose Hampton going on IR now.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt more in a couple of weeks than it does right now.
Right.
But Kyle gets betrayed to bottom. Even Trey McBride that off day. It's just he's got the talent on the roster. They just didn't show up. Maybe a little bit too much faith in the Woody Marks situation.
I mean, I know, right? You look at Chase Brown, you're saying, well, he's probably unstartable, but I don't know. I think I would have rolled with Chase Brown over Woody Marks.
Yeah, Chase Brown's having an off year, but there was just too much unknown.
Not anymore. He's on a new team, so
he's got a new beginning.
It's going to turn around for him.
Christian, any surprises when you look at Knuckleheads 136 over Sody Pantloads 113 this week?
Not. I mean, I guess my one surprise is Baker Mayfield put up more points than Justin Fields. I think Baker Mayfield's having
he's amazing.
Great, such a good year. It's kind of wild. He doesn't use his legs that often with how much he's throwing. Love that. Also, just Sody's bench is better than I think half of my team, which is crazy to think too. So I don't know. I'm kind of scared looking at that. But I think the biggest thing is not even in this match, or it is actually you still won, but Hampton only played half a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's going to be out.
So
he's on IR, which means I'm not confident that he's back in 4 weeks. He has to miss at least 4 weeks, but I'm hearing that it may be a little bit longer, and that's a pretty sharp dagger in Knucklehead's heart right now. So, Jordan, when you look at this game, any surprises outside of the Knuckleheads going to 4-1?
No. No surprises besides Woody Marks, because I was willing to pay a steep price for him too.
I saw that.
He goes crazy the week before. The coach hypes him up, and then he does nothing against on a game where they should have been running the ball the whole time. I think they just want to give CJ Stroud some confidence because he has been having a tough go of it. So maybe they just let him chuck the ball around. Maybe they wanted to give Nick Chubb a little bit retirement bonus, but I would not have predicted that in a million years. And also, my last comment, we got to sign off. So have a good rest of the pod.
All right.
All right, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate you calling in. I will say one thing about Sodi as Jordan leaves the pod for tonight. He is in Devonta Smith hell, and so many of us have been there. You put him in the lineup, you get 4 points out of him. You put him on the bench, he blows up for 20 this week.
Yep.
You don't know what's happening in Philly. We talked about this a little bit off air, but
100%.
We're going to see them live in about an hour, taking on the Giants. I'm trying to represent the team. This may be the only positive things that happen for the Giants is getting some love on the pod, but something weird is happening, and Devonta Smith,
that whole offense, though, right? Exactly. And Christian, I agree with you. The one thing that's tough for Sodi, he's got a really good deep bench, and then it becomes like, who do you start? It gets hard when you have that. Like, for me, it's a piece of cake. There's like no one really to consider. I mean,
Same.
Yeah. So
I'd be happy to, Sodi, if you ever need some help simplifying your bench, I'd be happy to take some players off your hands. So.
He was shopping running backs.
He was.
He did shop some running backs.
He came a calling for me as well.
We'll talk about some who do you start, because there are some difficult, lineup decisions for a lot of teams in fantasy land to make. So, where do you want to go next in Week 5 action?
All right, let's go to the Beans and Huey, our, I think, only undefeated team left, correct?
Huey Lewis in the News is our only undefeated team left. They go to victory 132.8 over 113.4 for the Beans. Huey Lewis moves to 5-0, as is not uncommon for them. Storied franchise. What was their key to victory against the Beans?
I gotta say, this could be probably the best draft pick right now as it's panning out. You got, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, number 2 ranked. He's averaging 24.7 points a week.
It's crazy. This is the best player in fantasy right now.
Yeah, my number 2 running back, I don't think has 24.7 points for 5 games. So it's like, that's unbelievable. And then, nice game out of Jefferson. You made that trade. There was a lot of potential criticism, but it's, working out for him. Breece Hall against the Cowboys. I mean, anybody is probably going to have double-digit points against the Cowboys D. And on the reverse, I think we did talk about this. There was just some tough matchups for the Beans all the way around. I mean, A.J. Brown against Denver, that was really tough. But he had a decent week. I mean, Kelsey, I always think if he's like getting like 19, like that's overperforming now for Kelsey, honestly. But when you get -6 for your D, that's brutal. That's brutal.
That's rough on a tough week. Christian, I'm looking at Boston Beans, and last week we had talked about the, I guess, terrible play, I'll call it, or terrible production anyway, that you're getting out of Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown. Jamar Chase blows up this week trying to make us eat our words. He goes 31 points. But is this a mirage for Jamar Chase? Even as Joe Flacco comes to town, can Jamar Chase maintain fantasy production of a first-round pick now with Flacco, or was this just, are we going to go back to 3 and 4 point performances?
I don't think it'll be 3 and 4 point, but again, like those, like almost all of his points came with 2 garbage time.
Yep.
Prevent defense touchdowns. And the touchdowns he had were were spectacular catches. Still.
They were.
But I'm still worried because Joe Flacco was benched in Cleveland for a reason. So I don't know. I don't trust that offense at all. I mean, hopefully they prove me wrong and Jamar goes off, but maybe not 2 or 3, maybe 8 or 9. I don't know. I still don't trust that offense.
Yep. Gross. And there's old friend Nick Chubb eating up the Woody Marks.
Yeah.
touches and scoring 12.1 points.
But I think the question we have to ask ourselves, a guy that's a Miami Dolphin fan, Hill is out. How do you not start in Waddle? That's what I was looking at. That was a bit of a surprise.
We talked about that a bit last week, and sometimes you gotta make a move. I think you could have said last week, hey, it's early for A.J. Brown.
Yeah, I know.
I think especially with Waddle's situation, I have to agree with you. It's time for Waddle to get into that lineup.
And it's time. I mean, we've talked about it. I know it's tough. You get to pick a guy that high. You got to stick with him. But let's look at reality. He's the 41th ranked receiver. Yeah. He's averaging 9.1 points a week. That's just not going to cut it.
Yeah, you can do better.
Yeah.
You can do better. And if it starts to turn around, then you look back at him. But
yep.
That's hard.
I appreciate the Beans' loyalty to his, Top Gun. But I think, when now he's 1-4, I think you got to start making some moves.
I agree. Christian, Huey Lewis in the News has been getting great production from Justin Herbert, who, even though he has all the talent in the world, has not necessarily had that translate to fantasy production in the past. There's serious offensive line problems for the Chargers right now. The 16.3 points that he put up this week, do you feel that this is going to be more the norm for Justin Herbert until they can get that line straightened out, or was this just an aberration for him?
I mean, I think it might be more the norm because let me check his stats. He put up like 60 yards on the ground too. So like this, or I don't know exactly how many yards, but this was like his arm. Oh yeah, 60. So he got 10 points passing. That's not good.
No.
Right. Especially for the amount of he has literally 3 potential number 1 wide receivers in his repertoire. I don't know. That's tough. Like I would not feel comfortable starting him personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, they looked out of sync too. I was watching the game. The offense did not look good against the Commanders at all.
You're down both tackles.
Yeah,
they got. I think there's a backup center. It's gross. I don't know really how Marion Hampton was getting the yards that he was before.
Yep.
It's the wheels are falling off that bus pretty hard. Enough for the Giants to beat them. So
good point. That's a good litmus test of where you are as far as
go Giants. But geez. All right, where are we going next?
We're going to talk about my game, which was very competitive.
Yes.
What
a squeaker.
It was a squeaker. I was sweating it.
Born to Run wins 139.9 over 134.3. Worst team ever. Hard luck, worst team ever. Taking another loss following the 1-4. And Born to Run, you improved to 2-3. Tell me about your game.
So, early on, JSN went off. Ibuka was amazing as well.
Yep.
And then I got Williams going in a later game, not doing much, but I'm not worried. And then I'm like, he's gonna do something, right? And then when he only ends up with 2 points, I'm like, oh my god, I'm now gonna lose,
right?
Because I thought, and then it's funny. I was not feeling great. Worthy was getting a lot of looks. I'm like, okay, I'm in trouble. Even Thomas had a couple of nice catches, and then from mid-second quarter to the fourth quarter, they were almost non-existent. So, but it was rough. It kept me up. I was definitely sweating that game out.
That's a stressful experience for sure. Egbuka is such an intriguing player. He blows up for 32 points this week. This is the 3rd ranked wide receiver in fantasy football.
It's crazy, and and JSN is number 4, so I got the 3 and the 4th, which I thought they were going to be good, but they're just blowing it out of the park.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing.
If you want to talk about, we talked about draft issues and how the Brock Bowers pick didn't really work out for you, and you would put a lot in the Brock Bowers basket, but I think you have to look at these 2 young players, Jackson Smith and Najigba and Emeka Egbuka. That's kind of makes up for it.
Yeah.
Well,
and now I got the number 1 ranked scoring tight end.
You do. He's finally cracked the lineup in board.
Because the advice I gave to Tony, I took my own advice, and
that's hard.
I mean, Bowers was iffy on whether he was going to play, but I didn't even care. I already had Ferguson in. It didn't matter.
Yep.
I'm like, no, I'm making a switch until I get Bowers back completely healthy. He's not going in the lineup because Ferguson's doing it.
Yeah, I ride that. I think Sodi said last week you got to ride the hot hand.
Yep.
And I agree with that. On the other side of the ball, Christian Mark Andrews puts up 4.2 points. He's the 17th ranked tight end in football. You can certainly do better. I think we asked this in week 2, but I'm going to ask it to you in week 5. Is it time for Mark Andrews to start getting out of fantasy lineups?
Yeah, definitely. Without Lamar Jackson, well, one, you see how bad that offense is without Lamar Jackson in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even Derrick Henry can't do much.
Yeah.
So yeah. Plus, like I think Likely's coming back, and I'm not saying Andrews won't score or get targets, but that's like a poverty offense right now.
It is.
I would not start him.
It is. When you look about a franchise that, I'll say it's much like the Buffalo Bills. That window only stays open for so long. And if you're looking at Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, like you have to win now. This is the time. That window, these players are getting older, and it looks like this is already a lost season for the Baltimore Ravens.
I know. Isn't that scary? What are they, 1-4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
And Lamar's not really ready to come back, and they're talking that he might force the issue because he's afraid that this season will be lost. But then what's that going to lead to?
Right.
He's just going to get knocked out again, and yeah, it's a bad situation.
What I will say, though, that's kind of crazy is the AFC looks wide open. Like, everyone's beating and losing to everyone, maybe outside of, like, the Bills, who have still lost to the Patriots.
Lost to the Patriots, right?
It's like the only teams that are, I don't want to say locks. I mean, I think Indy's going to make it. I don't know, just because they look really good. Their division's kind of weak.
Yep.
But the North and the AFC East are, like, sure, the Steelers are 3-1, but are they really like a 3-1 team?
I mean,
not really. I don't view them as.
I don't think they're striking fear in anybody's heart.
No.
Yeah.
So I think, like, even if Baltimore starts off really bad, if Lamar comes back healthy, they could definitely. I mean, I think their defense is actually more the issue than Lamar.
No doubt.
There. Like, their defense sucks.
It does. And how seldom do we say that?
Yeah.
What a proud tradition. Then the
Yeah.
Ravens, just that defense is bad.
It is horrendous.
Not what you expect from a Baltimore team. But good news for Born to Run, moving to 2-3.
Very good news.
Yeah, and for, you guys came in both at 1-3, and you didn't want to be on the worst team ever end of that result.
And it's only one win, but it's amazing how happy and better sounding 2-3 sounds than 1-4. I mean, it's literally one win, but I'm telling you, it's a lot nicer being at 2-3.
It sure is. That's a good feeling for sure.
We got one more, and this was the thriller.
All right, what do we got?
We got the rifle and the moppers with the 0.4 difference. This
was the squeaker of squeakers.
It
if your game was
sure
close, it doesn't get much closer than this. The Springfield Rifle pull out this victory 122.8 to 122.4. Less than half a point separates the Rifle from the Moppers, but the Rifle pick up a well-earned and much-needed win.
Yes.
Tell me about this game.
So it was just like you had, I don't know how, like, James Cook really wasn't involved as much in that game plan with Buffalo. Although I would say the Patriots, I don't know what the time of possession was, but the Patriots seemed to dominate there, and so getting 4.9 out of Cook, that hurts, because he's been a stud. Hunter Henry had that one basically go off his hands, so that would have been a touchdown. That would have gave him the win. Mahomes throws that one pick. There's another thing. I would say the only thing with the Moppers is they've been loyal to Jacoby Myers. I don't know, maybe it's time to. I know his receiver core is lacking a little. So that's the one thing. But then, the Rifle, Goff was good. He just had a pretty solid week. Debo, I think, overperformed. But it was, Laporta was good. And this is where I give him a ton of credit. He started Darren Waller.
He did.
I mean, Waller had a good week, the week before.
Yeah.
But to think he was going to put two solid weeks together, I was not convinced. But kudos.
Yeah,
to pull the trigger
that's
on that
looking
one.
like a good pickup so far.
Yeah. But he's already got a questionable IC, so.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem with him.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems with him, but he's a really talented player. I hope he can just find his way to stay on the field and stay focused. So this is a huge win for the Rifle.
Huge.
They're back in the running at 1-4. 1-4 doesn't sound great, and it's not great, but man, 0-5 would have been. I don't know that you recover from 0-5.
I mean, that's a dagger.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get by that?
So that's everything looking up, and it can't get more exciting than this. You are a 4-yard run or 5-yard run away from a loss.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. It's
so crazy.
It was.
Christian, Rifle moved to 1-4. Everyone pretty much consensus in the league was that people really liked Rifle's team coming out of the draft. I don't want to rediscuss this. I think we talked about it a little bit last week, but what do you feel overall looking at this lineup with the Rifle? I see it on the screen and I'm thinking, yeah, you can win with this team. So do you think that the Rifle have good things ahead? They're getting this first win is just going to open the floodgates a bit?
Well, I'm playing him this week, so I think he might be going to 1-5.
1-5, yeah.
No, I mean I like his team a lot. I think the one, I won't say question, the dude he has 4 tight ends on his team.
He does.
3 of them are very good,
Yeah.
but he does have 4 of them, so that might be like the one thing. But Josh Jacobs is coming back this week. Jordan Love, that matchup looks really juicy against Cincy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So like his team is, I mean, maybe outside of wide receivers, like he does have like a great team, I will say. Like obviously he traded away Jefferson, so maybe that would have been, maybe that would have solidified it. I think he can come back. I think he can. I don't think anyone's out yet, personally. It seems like there's a big pack of just below or at 500 teams, near 500 teams,
Yep.
or that I'm still feeling like anyone could get that 6th spot.
Yeah, that's going to be. I can't. I don't want 6 weeks to pass, but in 6 weeks we are going to be talking about these dogfights that are going to go on for those last couple playoff spots. It's so crazy. Also, in a year, this tells you the courage of the Rifle. In a year where tight ends are just a disaster, when they needed it most, the Rifle plugged in 2 tight ends.
I know.
And came up with the most important win of the season.
That's what I mean. It was a stroke of genius there.
Unbelievable. Yep. Good for the Rifle. So that is week 5. So let's take a look at the standings if we could. Right now, we've got in first place, sole possession, last undefeated team, Huey Lewis and the News at 5-0. Whopper Moppers, we just discussed, they lost to the Rifle. They fall to 4-1. Knuckleheads Ponin at 4-1, also in a tie for second. Sody Pantloads 3-2. And then we start the teams 2-3 for no lineup needed, the Soarin Eagles and Born to Run. And then we've got Boston Beans, worst team ever, and the Springfield Rifle pulling in at 1-4. Bottom 6 teams could be in a dogfight for these playoff spots that we're talking about. As things have shaken out, Walt, over the first 5 weeks, any surprises looking at the standings?
I mean, we already talked about the Rifles, so, I would have not guessed they would have been, in the basement. But I always, again, look at points for, and, if you base it on that, that's where they deserve to be. I mean, they have the lowest point total in the league.
Right. Guess
who's right there with them? Worst team ever. But, hey, I'm not going to say too much. I'm barely above them. But I think, it's kind of weird. It's like panning out. Like, you don't always see that. Sometimes someone will have a lower points for, but, they'll be in the upper half of the division or something like that. But if you really look at it, it's like almost playing out perfect on the points for the bottom part of it. So, I'm not really super duper surprised, other than maybe Huey. Again, he always exceeds expectations. It's just, I thought his team was good, but 5-0.
How many years? This is there. Season 6 of the pod. How many times have we said, "Oh, Huey's got this problem, Huey's got that problem," and Huey just comes up and just stays quiet as a mouse and just picks us apart.
Yeah, no, I know, and it is amazing. He's got like the Midas touch. I don't know how he does it.
It's pretty.
It is. It's, and you would think it's a fluke, right? But I mean, year after year after year, I just like it's insane.
Let's take a look at the chat before I go to Christian on the same question. Sox fan 7687 weighed in with Woody got the Supermax contract, talking about the $150 for Woody. That's pretty good. And that Chase Brown is now your problem. We'll talk about transactions. And Kuz says he's still paying Naeem Hines. He's got a little Bobby Bonilla contract situation going on. So that catches us up with the chat. Thanks for weighing in, folks. We're going to get to a question that Soxfan7687 threw in on our promo video because we had said that we'd take any questions that got put up. But before we go there, Christian, looking at the standings right now, any surprises to you for any team that's where they're currently sitting?
No, I don't think so. All I'm going to say, though, don't let no lineup go 0-3. Like, I feel like it happens every year now that I go 0-3 and then win games.
100%.
But, I mean, I don't know. I kind of, not, I think there's just some unlucky hands considering I lost by like 10 points total across the first 3 weeks. So I could be up there in a different spot.
I mean, look at your point total. 100%.
Yep.
But no, I think this year, I mean, maybe outside of the Rifle and worst team ever, which might have just been some underperformance in the points, this year feels the closest in terms of points. Like, you're talking about a 10-point-a-week difference across most of the league.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I feel like this might be the year that I feel that the league's the tightest right now, even with a 5-0 theory. Yeah, it feels like a lot of places are not, locked up. No one's. I don't think the picture is even. I think less clear than it was last week.
I'd agree, and I mean, I look at any team, and I don't think anyone here says, "Oh, when I play that team, I feel like I'm going to lose."
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't see that at all. I think everybody's got some, strengths. And then everybody, for the most part, I feel has a bit of an Achilles heel at one position. Mm-hmm. So, I think because of that, it's like the great equalizer.
100%. 100%. When I'm looking at this, so, you would look at it and based on performances and scoring points, you'd say, well, it's a surprise for no lineup. But as Christian just pointed out, no lineup goes 0-3. Like, this is just a thing. So, the 2-3 right now after 5 weeks, I can't say that that's the big surprise because that just seems to be the pattern that the season takes, and then they start to blow up. But for me, the biggest surprise, I think, even though he'll tell you straight out that his team stinks, Boston Beans right now sitting in 8th spot. I can say coming out of the draft, I didn't really see that as being, I mean, of course it's possible, but I thought
that's
that
they'd
be fighting a little bit more. They've had a little bit of power outage. They've had some tough luck losses, but that's a surprise to me. I like that team coming out of the draft.
Yeah, no, I can't disagree at all on that because, who's predicting as A.J. Brown's the 41th ranked receiver? Give me a break.
Right.
And
I was actually looking at that team coming out of the draft, like, what were the rest of us doing?
Yeah.
How do they have Jamar Chase and A.J. Brown?
Yeah.
And they're just being betrayed right now.
Yeah, and even, I'm just looking at Chase, right? He's the number 7th ranked, which is awesome, but that's not your number 1 pick, right?
Right. I mean, some of these numbers get inflated, the rankings, because a guy goes off 1 week and then he's, giving you garbage for 3 other weeks. So.
Exactly. And then, he lost Evans. So he's had some bad luck. I mean, Evans is out. Yeah. That's what we were saying. Look at those 3 receivers he had. Evans, Chase, Brown, right? So, and, then Evans goes, then Connor's out for the year. So, yeah, he's definitely... He's had some unfortunate luck on the Beans.
100%. All right, let's jump into Week 6 action. Oof. We've got some games coming up.
Yeah, we do.
Oof, we don't want to use implications yet, but boy, there's some.
I'm going to write off some teams after this week. Yes. I'm writing. There's a couple of matchups. The loser, I'm going to call it. They're done.
All right, let's jump in. Which Week 6 game do you want to talk about?
Well, let's go. This one's my favorite. It's the let's go to Pantloads and the Moppers. I think this is a marquee matchup of two of the better teams here.
It is. They got Whopper Moppers, our second place team at 4-1, taking on Sody Pantloads, fourth place team at 3-2. Right now, projections have Sody Pantloads 132 to 128 victors. You agree with that, Walt?
Yeah, I do, because there's a couple of red flags for the Moppers that I'm concerned about. Hubbard. I don't know. He didn't practice today. It's a great matchup against the Cowboys, but if he doesn't play, you go look at. I mean, he's going to Zach Charbonnet as maybe or Carter again. I don't know. That's unfortunate because that's such a great matchup. So he loses that, and then I think the Pantloads, they pretty much got all their guys this week that he can pick where he wants to start. I'm surprised he's not going with Judkins, honestly. That's a little surprising. But Javonte Williams, Bijan.
Yeah, I argue with Javonte Williams and Bijan right there.
Yeah, the lineups, he's got a really good lineup.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think the Pantloads, of course, I thought he was going to win last week, so he's probably going to hate that I'm predicting him again to win.
No one in that lineup right now, as they have their starters up, no one is ranked lower at their position than 12th, and that's Rome Odunze at the deep wide receiver position.
Wow.
So that's a good roster as we head into the midpoint.
Yeah, and he's emerging too. So I like him a lot actually.
Me too. I agree. Christian, who takes this one? Sody Pantloads or Whopper Moppers?
I think the Soats. The one guy I'm kind of concerned about is Garrett Wilson versus Denver because Pat Surtain's definitely gonna stay with him, especially because everyone talks about the Devonta Smith curse. He is facing the lovely New York Football Giants.
Yes.
So I was like, that's like the one that I'm sure he's thought about it, but going down to game time, I bet you I'd be kicking myself if Devonta Smith has a big game, especially because that Denver defense is just horrible to play against. Yeah,
that's a tough against the pass, that defense. I'm really concerned with Whopper Moppers and Chuba Hubbard. I don't think he's going to be in the starting lineup because I don't think he's playing this week.
Same here.
And if you don't have the handcuff over there because Dowdo blew up, but I don't see where his bench gives him a lot of relief. And in a tight game like this against an opponent that's got a lot of favorable matchups, I think that could be the Achilles heel for Whopper. Sure.
Definitely. I do see it that way. Drake May against New Orleans. That's a nice matchup.
That is.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
He's going to have his work cut out for him to beat the Moppers. Pantloads, the Moppers.
Yep, but the Moppers are our defending champs, and
he's got a good team.
Let's see what happens. This will be a good game. Who else you want to talk about?
We'll save that nice one. Let's talk about your game. This has got another couple of big hitters playing against each other.
Yeah, this is Huey Lewis in the News, our first place team at 5-0, taking on the Knuckleheads, pulling in at third place at 4-1. Right now, the projected totals have Huey Lewis taking out the Knuckleheads 126 to 121. Walt, how do you see this game going?
So, a couple interesting. Tyrone Tracy, I heard, was playing tonight.
I think he's going to play tonight.
And will that really cut into Scadaboo's projection?
Scadaboo, everyone loves Cam Scadaboo, but he has not been very efficient. I think he's pulling in at 3.8 yards per carry.
Right.
He'll break an 11-yarder and then give you 4 1 and 2 yarders. So I think you're going to see them try to open up the ground game a little bit with Tyrone Tracy. I don't think it's going to be beneficial for either of them fantasy-wise.
Yep.
But I think team-wise, they need to do that split. So I do see bad things for Cam Scadaboo tonight. Hopefully he blows up, but I just don't see it. I think you're right. Tyrone Tracy cuts into that.
Yeah. I think if he's under projecting, if you go with that, Jonathan Taylor, they say 23. I don't know. He's averaging 24.
It's kind of low.
Right. And that Quentin Johnson, if he's healthy against Miami, that's a juicy matchup.
Yep.
But, you got Dalton Kincaid. Who knows? He could throw a 0 up for all we know there. So, and then I flip on your side, Rasheed White, I like that, especially it doesn't look like Bucky Irvin's going to play. St. Brown against Kansas City, you would think that's going to be a slugfest.
I hope so. Yeah.
And then Pittman, he's another guy reemerging, I think.
Yep.
So overall, I like your matchups. I don't know Zay Flowers though. So you got a couple of question marks too.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers, if Lamar ain't playing,
he's banged up, but I've got some.
You got some
depth,
stuff up your sleeve potentially, right? Yeah.
I've got some things that I can do.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you a slight edge, but it's hard to go against Huey because
it's Huey.
It's Huey. So, but I'll give you the nod and buck the projection.
Christian, 5 green check marks on each side of the ball. Who takes this game?
I'm liking your team there, Kamish. I am a bit. Quentin Johnson, if he is, I don't know how, what is extent of his injury, but also if they don't have much time, I don't know how Miami's D-line looks, but he's a long ball guy, and if they're getting pressure on him, I don't know how far Justin Herbert's average completion will be.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Trey Tucker, he's getting points from Gino, but Gino also looks terrible.
That's a good point. He looks terrible.
And so I'm like kind of out on Trey Tucker or that offense outside of Genty. Obviously, I have him, but I think they're going to be running the ball just because Gino makes 2 or 3 picks a game. Mm-hmm. So I like that. And then I guess the one thing is with your team, Kamish, is the Indy stack. Just because if Indianapolis goes up big, they'll just like hand the ball off. Mm-hmm. So that's like the one thing because Arizona also looks horrible.
Yeah, that matchup could really be much more beneficial for Jonathan Taylor than for Pittman and Tyler Warren. So I agree with that. All right, so that is Huey taking on the Knuckleheads. Well, who else you want to talk about?
Okay, let's talk about my game.
All right, Born to Run taking on the Soarin Eagles. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Born to Run at 2-3, Soarin Eagles at 2-3. Right now, the ESPN projections have Soarin Eagles taking this one 132.7 to 127.6. Walt, how do you see this game going?
I gotta say, and I'm not like the Soarin Eagles, Josh Allen against Atlanta. That's probably going to be a good matchup. Gibbs against Kansas City. I think he'll do fine. Mm-hmm. But, Metcalf 13 against Cleveland. I don't know if I see that. Devontae against Baltimore. That's an awesome matchup. But Walker against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's got a really tough D. I don't know. I don't love Soren's matchups. I look at mine and say, okay, if Devontae goes off, well, that's why I put Stafford in. Stafford's probably going to go off. Mm-hmm. So I like my matchups. I think Barkley, knock on wood, is going to try to go off tonight on the Giants.
Yeah, he sure could. He had a tough, that whole team had a tough week last week, and here come the Giants.
Yeah. I think the only thing that the guy is killing me, ever since I put him in the lineup, Williams has not done a damn thing. I'm hoping Scary Terry's going to be healthy enough to go.
I don't think
I know it's not looking great.
He didn't practice today.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm willing to throw in T. Higgins yet, although just so everyone knows, it's on the back of my mind. With Flacco,
Flacco's going to come in and try to make a point.
Yeah.
So, why not throw the ball to T. Higgins?
So I think if I think this is going to be really close. If Jordan beat me, I wouldn't be shocked. But I do give myself a slight advantage.
All right. Christian, how do you see this one going? Soarin Eagles taking on Born to Run.
Yeah, I'm liking Born to Run here. I'm just Metcalf I'm a bit scared of, and Taylor I'm a bit scared of with Denver. Also with Ken Walker. The dude looks good, but then Charbonnet just takes his touchdown.
That's exactly it. Yeah. Exactly.
And then on Walt, your side, I think James and Williams, I don't know. I might even consider if I were putting in Chase Brown instead, just for like a floor of points. That'd be like my one thing. But other than that, like Mbuka looks good. Ferg versus Carolina looks great. You're sort of playing with fire with the Chargers, but outside of that, I really like your team.
Yeah. And I am considering kind of what you said, Christian, is moving Ibuka up to the receiver and maybe flexing Chase Brown. Mm-hmm. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Or Higgins.
These are just Band-Aids for you. Eventually, McLaurin will be back. He'll be healthy. He'll be picking up points. It's just not going to be now. I don't think he's playing this week. Where do you want to go now?
All right. Wait, did we get through everybody? Because
I don't think so.
No, we didn't. Christian, we didn't do your game.
Do your game.
Yeah, we got to do your
game.
No,
we have not.
There's no lineup needed. At 2-3, taking on the Springfield Rifle. Just picked up their first first win of the year to go to 1-4. Right now, ESPN projections have no lineup, taking this one 135 to 123. Christian, do you agree?
I do. I really like my matchups this week. I think at Genty versus Tennessee could be really fat, especially because I think Gino is not going to be throwing the deep ball a lot, and their run defense is pretty good. I like Dallas versus Carolina, and I love Tet versus Dallas, considering they can't keep the ball out of anyone's hands. So I'm really liking my matchups. I am scared, though, of Josh Jacobs versus Cincy. That could easily be a 30-point game. But I am confident in my team here. I think I have a good lineup for this week with good matchups.
All right. Walt, what do you think?
Well, I don't agree because I think Christian's going to get like 160 for points. That's so. Christian, I think your lineup is like. I mean, your matchups are unbelievable. Dallas against Carolina, I think that's Pickens, Dak are going to have really good days. Genty, I saw that, Pete Carroll called out Chip Kelly saying he doesn't like the play calling and that he should stick to the run more. So, I mean, that's perfect. And McMillan, I mean, let's face it, the Cowboys secondary stinks. He's going to be double digits, if not, like 20 points. So I think you're going to have a big week, Christian.
The only thing I can see...
Yeah, appreciate it.
I could see turning the tide in that Dallas game possibly is the Dallas pass rush. It seems like they're coming to life. So if Bryce Young is running for his life, that may take a little bit of the edge off Ted McMillan, but that's just a hope for you. You can't hope that they come
and
up.
That's true. They definitely... But again, I look at the opponent they played. Was that a mirage? Because
right.
I don't know. I just don't have a lot of faith in the Cowboys defense and their ability to consistently generate a rush. So we'll see.
Yeah, who knows?
I could be wrong, but
who knows?
Yeah,
I think Godwin. Did Godwin practice full? I feel like I saw Godwin could be close to. Was he limited?
I don't think he. No, he didn't practice today.
He didn't practice today, so hopefully that's maintenance because he was starting to turn the corner. So the sooner he gets back into that lineup, the better that the Springfield Rifle can stabilize for sure.
But I think my guess it's maintenance though, because I thought what I heard after the game, they said he came out of it okay. Yeah, right. So I think you're right on that.
All right.
I will say though, I'm a bit afraid of Debo against the Bears. Like Ben Daniel seems to really like him, and that Bears defense is bad. So and that's Monday night. Mm-hmm. So that's like him and Jacobs are the two that I'm.
Yeah, Jacobs definitely
kind of scared.
But on the flip side, and sometimes it doesn't work out. The quarterback and the running back have big days. But,
True.
But I would say percentage or chances are if Jacobs is blowing up, and then you got to think Love maybe has a lesser of a day. So. Yeah. I think you got that going for you.
Yeah. Unless
you throw 3 touchdowns to Love.
To Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs. Yeah, Love to Jacobs. Yeah,
that would be perfect.
That's when it backfired. All right, I saved the best game for last.
All right.
To me, this is much more exciting than the top teams. You got the Beans against worst team ever.
Oh boy,
it's the Eeyore Bowl.
Beans taking at 1-4, taking on worst team ever at 1-4,
and it's
razor thin projection.
And the projections are even better too. It's just like this is like classic.
Yeah, this could be, and both of these teams are desperate for this win. So who takes it? Beans versus worst team ever.
Wow, I gotta tell you, the Beans. So Hurts against the Giants, right? Mm-hmm. I think the Eagles scare me. I feel, and as you said, we talked before we got on air, they seem dysfunctional to me.
Something's wrong.
And I just think something bad happens early. Mm-hmm. I feel like A.J. Brown, just blowing a gasket and having a tantrum.
Yep.
And I don't know. There's just something about it. So I think if Hurts and Brown, they don't put up at least their projections, that's really puts the Beans behind the 8 ball. And then on the other side, Kyron Williams against Baltimore. I mean, that matchup to me is amazing.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered for WT right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Now again, we gotta say, I know he's in Hawaii, but come on, pick up a tight end. Even in Hawaii, it's not that hard to do it. Do something.
There was a run on tight ends. There might be too many tight ends out there.
There might be nothing left, right?
Rifle's got them all.
So this will be a slugfest. I think I just have no faith in the Eagles. I think they underperform. I like Williams. I think Montgomery will have a good week. I'm saying worst team ever comes out on top.
All right. Christian, worst team ever taking on the Beans. Who takes it?
I'm going to go Beans. I know there's a lot of risk tonight, but I can't imagine that they're not going to target A.J. Brown like 12 times with how much of a fuss he puts up.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the Beans this week.
All right, Beans.
And I would agree. If that happens, if that, plays out like that and Hurts gets 30 and Browns 20, then I agree with you, Christian.
But on the other side of that also, if that offense, it seems like they're heading for some sort of meltdown.
Yeah.
If there are fists thrown on the sidelines and the wheels come off the bus, then that's it for the Beans for the week. I'll call it on Thursday night at midnight whether or not the Beans are going to win this week.
Oh, yeah. Sirianni, to me, has no control on that team.
There's no leadership.
It's
on
weird.
that team.
Exactly. It's amazing they won a Super Bowl. It tells you how good they
Absolutely.
are. Yeah.
Yep. That's a lot of talent. Jordan waited on the chat. Scattaboo. So he's certainly rooting for Cam Scattaboo tonight. All right. So that covers week 6.
Yeah.
A great week of games ahead. Let's talk about the question. I said we were going to answer a question if someone asked one, and SoxFan7687 weighed in on the comments in the video, and his question was, who is the most dangerous team, and why is it the Pantloads?
When you ask a question, you're not supposed to answer it. Isn't that the point of a thing called a question?
That's the super fan for Sody Pantloads right there. Amazing. You know what I want to do? I want to do a little bit of who do you start?
Well, let me address the Pantloads.
Oh yes, please do. Also, coming off, comment was made by a super fan for a team coming off a loss.
It's a bold statement. So I don't know. I mean, I give the Pantloads a lot of credit. I think they built a very good team this year. Although I think, stocking up on more running backs, I don't know. But Huey used that strategy and it worked out one year. So maybe it plays out. But, with no lineup on the line, I'm going to say, he's doing it again. To me, right now, no lineup's the scariest team out there. He's on a roll. He's got a lot of points. He stole Dak Prescott from me, the number 4th ranked quarterback. I mean, I don't know. I say no lineup's the scariest team right now.
Christian, who's the scariest team in BARFF right now?
I appreciate that, Walt. I will go. I think I'll play it into Sox fans' hand. I will say Sody.
No.
Just because.
No.
I will say it. Maybe I'm trying to curse it, maybe not. But I think, he has to make some tough lineup decisions. But this is one of the things that teams get desperate. He can package a couple players and get someone really big. So I can't fight that. And I think this next week, I know I've been hitting the trade lines a lot, but I feel like this year might have some real players moving teams to try to keep people's hopes alive. So dude has a lot of assets, and I am kind of afraid of that.
Yeah, he definitely has trade capital.
Yeah,
no question about it. And he's really one good receiver away from having that Achilles heel is no longer present.
Right.
I mean that's his only last little weakness.
Sure.
And I wouldn't say it's a big one.
Right. All right, so that's most dangerous team. I'm gonna second Born to Run on this one. I'm gonna say I feel, and it's not just because you're on the line, Christian, no lineup needed. And the only reason that I will say that is that you did your 0-3 thing. So I don't want to see no lineup come into town right now. This is the time of year when you don't want to be playing no lineup needed.
They're a buzzsaw right now.
Right,
so I
not.
agree.
All right, let's do a little who do you start? And we will start with running backs. This week, who do you start? DeAndre Swift or David Montgomery?
Ooh.
I'm going to go Walt first. DeAndre Swift's got Washington. David Montgomery has KC. Who do you start?
So I got to say, although, every week he's had a good week, he seems like he's followed it with not so great week. But I see a couple of touchdowns in his future against Kansas City. I like Monty. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I see him getting a touchdown or two. So, there's 12 points. He throws in a little yardage.
Mm-hmm.
So I think David Montgomery is the guy I would put in to the lineup.
All right, Christian, DeAndre Swift against Washington or David Montgomery against KC? Who do you start?
I'm going to go DeAndre Swift. Bears, the Bears have looked pretty decent. But the thing with Dave Montgomery I'm kind of afraid of is One, their offense doesn't really, as much as they play them both, that Detroit offense doesn't really need, like, one piece can always be excluded from a big game because they have so many pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think they're going to, as much as they use him as like a semi-2 to Jahmyr Gibbs, I think Jahmyr Gibbs is just going to keep eating more and more of the game because he's so dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with DeAndre Swift. I think he's looking good this week.
All right. So that was running backs. Let's talk about wide receivers. Walt, Devonta Smith is playing tonight against the Giants. Marvin Harrison Jr. has Indianapolis. Who do you start?
Wow. I just think the A.J. Brown factor, and to the point that no lineup made, if he's going to be a focus, then I'm thinking he has a bigger night. Devontae takes that, back seat. Harrison, I think, it is a pretty good matchup against Indy. I see them being behind. So I think Harrison, to me, is a safer play. So I'm starting Harrison.
All right. Christian, Devonta Smith against the Giants or Marvin Harrison Jr. against Indianapolis. Who do you start?
I'm thinking I'll go opposite of Walt again. I'll go Devonta Smith. There's enough. The Giants' defense can give up enough to have more than one person eat. Plus, no Kyler Murray. That's like my big thing.
But it's going to be Saquon
At least
Barkley.
to my true. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, especially I could see that, especially with the stuff coming out about John Mara denying his trade request. So I could see it, but I don't know. I don't trust the Cardinals to do anything correctly.
Yeah, I mean, how can you after blowing that game?
100%. 100%. All right. So that was wide receivers and running backs. Quarterbacks. Walt, who do you start? Drake May against New Orleans or Daniel Jones against Arizona?
So Daniel Jones couldn't crack my lineup because I went with Stafford over him. So I think I have a tell. I think I'm going Drake May against New Orleans. I mean, I don't know. I didn't love the matchup for Danny Dimes this week.
Yeah.
He's not been bad the last few weeks.
He just had he started out so hot.
Yeah.
Expectations got a little
so,
high.
I think he started to play like Daniel Jones, and as a fantasy, he's doing pretty good as an NFL player, but fantasy-wise, he's kind of back
leveling out a little bit.
Yeah, so, and May, that game was ridiculous. He made some throws that were just amazing. So I think he's on a roll. So I like Drake May.
All right, Christian, Drake May against New Orleans, Daniel Jones against Arizona. Who do you start?
I'll go with Drake May on that one. He's looked pretty good. I'm not going to play into a Patriots fan hand by saying he's the next Tom Brady or Josh Allen, but the dude can sling it, and they're looking good.
Yep.
So I'll go Drake May.
Picks up some yards with his feet, that one.
That's
also.
true, too.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
All right, let's go. People in the chat are saying Soarin Eagles are the scariest team in BARFF. That comment was made from Jordan. Jordan is also, I believe, as part of the Montgomery conversation, just says Gibbs. And Coos says New York Giants have a bad defense, and they are, as of right now, correct.
I mean, you
hopefully
can't
they can
argue
turn
with
it
it.
around, but
Yeah.
you can't argue with that. I will tell you, as a Giants fan, I would like to see, if things go the way that I think they are, Shane Bowen, nice fella, but defensive coordinator, you got to be shown the door. You got to 10 days before your next game. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's time.
That's a very good
There's
call.
way too much talent on that defense for them
I
to be
agree.
a turnstile. The
That
way
defensive
that
line and the linebacker.
It's
you're 100%.
unbelievable.
Yeah, no
Unbelievable.
doubt about it.
it's enough of that scheme. So, all right, that was Who Do You Start? And that wraps up BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast, Episode 6, Week 5. We are already
I
done.
actually have to cut in.
No, please do.
What about the Guillotine League?
Oh, we did not cover Guillotine. What a save by
Oh, my
Christian
goodness.
coming in. So we had 4 teams remaining. The 4 teams remaining were no lineup needed, Sody Pantloads, the Knuckleheads, and hold on.
It'll come to us.
It'll come to me. Hold on. Let me just cheat.
We always have to reverse engineer this every
Right,
week
yeah, boy.
to figure out who's left.
I totally forgot about that one. So
Nice work, Christian.
yeah, that was an awesome save. So of the teams that were participating, the remaining teams are Soarin Eagles, no lineup needed, Sody Pantloads, and the Knuckleheads. And so based on low score from last week, I believe it is time to bid adieu to, and I don't want to say the wrong team, but I'm pretty sure that it starts with a Soarin.
Yeah, I think the wings were clipped.
It ends with an Eagles at 93 points, getting crushed by no lineup. Not only getting beaten, but being put out of the Guillotine side bet. So Soarin Eagles, we bid farewell to you. You will not be picking up any extra cash. And then there were 3, no lineup needed, Sody Pantloads, and the Knuckleheads remain in the Guillotine side bet. Thank you so much for catching that no lineup. That was excellent.
All right, no worries. Happy.
All right, so that now is the show for the week.
Yeah.
Walt, anything for the league?
No, I think, again, I think this is a really pivotal week for 3 teams in particular. The Beans, no lineup, and of course, worst team ever.
Yep.
Because potentially you're going to have at least 2 of them that are going to be 1-5. So I just 1-5. That's such a deep hole to try to dig out of. It can be done, but
been there many times, and it's not a good place to be.
No.
You don't even want to visit for a while.
No. And desperation starts sinking in.
It's cold down there.
Yeah.
Then the wolves start to circle with these
trades.
And
I guarantee.
I got a little snake oil to sell you.
Huey will be knocking on the door. He smells blood in the water.
Christian, anything for the good of the order before we sign off?
Nothing from my end. Just happy to be on.
Yeah, it's great to have you.
Thanks for joining us.
It's great to have you. We missed you last week. It's great to get your insight and a great save at the beginning of the show, and you end the show with a great save. So
I feel, Christian, we're grooming you to replace either one of us or maybe potentially both of us at some point.
Right. Broadcast live from the Windy City.
Exactly.
I love it. All right, so that is our show for the week. Thanks to Jordan for also calling in. Thanks for everyone who weighed in on the chat. We will be posting some more videos over the course of the week and the weekend. And have a great NFL and great BARFF week to everyone. Good luck to all.
Yeah, good luck, everyone.